Be an interesting game, this, and such a short format, you can't really pick a winner in any game, but especially for these two great players as well. I'm sure Marco's been putting in a lot of practice.
Scary new shoes.
Hedgehog vibes.
One.
Not as sharp as that though, Phil.
You know, a couple of years ago, Martin Gould started the World Championship 60th in the world rankings with the possibility of dropping off. That seemed unthinkable. And at times last season, the relegation threat hung over the head of Thepchaiya Un-Nooh. Again, unthinkable.
Yeah, and it just shows the game today. I was just saying before with Dave how the strength and depth is just mind-blowing now. Consistency is one thing, obviously, but the capabilities of a lot of the players on tour now is just so good that you've got players like Thepchaiya, you know, falling into that possibility where he could have been off the tour. Obviously, other good players from over the years, like Sir Michael Holt, have dropped off, you know, and it's just so tough now. You've got to be consistently playing well, otherwise you can be in danger. But as you'll see today by the looks of things, just how good a player Thepchaiya is. It's kind of unthinkable that he might not have even been on the tour this season. Started off sharp here though, the great long red. Looks to have got the pace of the table quite quickly. Coming down there off the green for the red.
30.
Just as I put the curse on him, he's left himself a bit awkward on the black to get into the reds. He's going to have to really power this one in. It's not too bad. If that one doesn't go past the red and pink to the
20.
Yellow pocket, which he's looking at now, he's still got the one on the right-hand side.
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh. 20.
Cutting them back into half a blind pocket there.
Well, that wasn't just a miss, that was a wholesale miscalculation, misjudgment.
Yeah, one of them shots where you're sort of putting a little bit of left-hand side on to help it round, and Marco's obviously, as we've said, not too used to playing in tournaments lately and getting used to these very slippery conditions on a brand new cloth. Straight away there, that could have just been one where the white's pushed over a little bit more than he was expecting, and it can make you look silly sometimes. But either way, it's let Thepchaiya straight back in, and he's got a nice chance now. He'd be disappointed if he doesn't get very close to winning the frame from here.
9.
Purposely leave himself nice and low on the black. If he wants to be a bit more aggressive and not just play for the single reds, he'll be straight into the pack with that red on the right there to go at as insurance.
60.
You wouldn't see the likes of Thepchaiya play for single reds and just dilly-dally around them. If that sort of shot's on, he'll always get into them, open the frame up and try and win the frame straight away in one visit.
17.
He doesn't hang about neither. Sees the game very quickly, sees the shot very quickly.
$24. 25.
Absolutely tailor-made. Thepchaiya Un-Nooh to win the shootout, which he did in 2019. If you're unfamiliar with that tournament, it's all 10-minute matches.
32.
First 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Second 5 minutes, 10
33.
seconds. Now, for most players, especially the 10 seconds. That's a real hindrance, a real handicap for him. Hardly so.
40.
Yeah, just like another day's practice for Thepchaiya. It can only be a bit of a hindrance sometimes when you're a bit awkward,
41.
but if your positional play is good, like it is at the moment in this break, I mean, you know the shot straight away. You can just get down and play it. It's as you say, it's totally suited to his game. A tournament we all look forward to now, but obviously players like Thepchaiya are going to look forward to it that little bit more, thinking they've got a
48.
great chance of winning it every year.
49.
And look at this. Frame already in the books. This is what he does.
56. 57.
Lovely little cannon there. Frame one, obviously, so he just took the opportunity to slide off the reds, open them up and get on the black at the same time.
It's all right. Go on. Thanks.
The table will really suit him. It's very conducive to floating the ball around, and I personally believe he could prosper here.
Yeah, he's got a lovely smooth cue action, Thepchaiya, being as quick as he is as well. He sort of looks so good on the shot. He doesn't look that quick, if you know what I mean. He's not like a Tony Drago, where he was Tony. You could almost imagine him running around the table and getting down and kind of, I wouldn't say a jabby player, but more on instinct. Not so much of a technique there, whereas Thepchaiya, he's got a lovely flow and cue action as well. And although he's quick,
70.
he's a bit like Ronnie in that regard, where he doesn't look as quick as he is.
71.
Rob Spencer, the referee, has the traditional
77.
black leather shoes on today. When you're refereeing for
78.
Un-Nooh, a pair of trainers might be advisable.
Yeah, and it's already warm enough in there. He's going to be quite warm after this.
84. Thank you. 85.
Marco Fu missed that middle distance red. Grossly thick. Un-Nooh is now 3 balls away from a century.
Yeah, and that's it in this format, such a short format. As we say, it's 4 frames, and you kind of know that in your head. If you make one mistake, the match isn't obviously over or anything, but you're putting yourself under pressure
96.
straight away.
100.
He's actually so good, he's infuriating Thepchaiya Un-Nooh, because when you see him play like this,
105.
a little bit like Jack Lazowski, you think, surely he's going to win big tournaments.
Yeah, it seems as when he can get into this relaxed zone,
111.
he's at his best. And obviously when the pressure comes on a bit, and like everybody, and you're playing in big occasions, it's not as easy, but
To me, Gary, that he must have practiced quite a bit between the end of the World Championship and...
he must have done, obviously looking sharp there, and same for me really. Not loads, but the last couple of weeks, just been getting back into it again. As I said before, there'll be a few players sort of practicing a few weeks beforehand. Some will not be doing it hardly at all, even up there in Paul Rinaldi's club, North East Snooker Centre. So just while I'm on that, a massive thanks to them, because always been there for us and helped us out with me practice over the last few years. So yeah, great big thanks to North. Thanks a lot.
Who isn't saying thanks for being put in that position? Now on table 2, what a turnaround this is. Stephen Maguire was off to a flyer. He led 2-0, made breaks of 87 and 63. He was nicely on the way to 3-0, but now it's 2-1 Maguire, and it looks like going 2-2. Thepchaiya Un-Nooh 41 ahead, 35 on. Maguire needs a couple of snookers. You've experienced that yesterday, Gary, in your second match against Barry Pinches, 2-0 up, and eventually only drew 2 each. Yes, you've got a point, but it must be quite deflating.
Yeah, I was actually quite frustrated at that one. It wasn't a great game between me and Barry, to be honest. As you say, I went 2-0 up. I'm going to blame the food, to be honest. The food that they've put on here, as usual, is absolutely exceptional, and I've had a lovely bit of salmon and potatoes and everything yesterday. And I came onto my game against Barry, and I felt so lethargic. I think I'd ate too much, Phil. And sort of, yeah, went 2-0 up, didn't feel great though, and Barry's done well to claw his way back and got a draw out of it, but it set me up in a position where I said before I knew I had to win the last game, and really you don't want to be kind of putting yourself in that position if you don't have to. It would have been ideal to get them 2 wins straight away, and I would have only needed a draw at worst, sorry. So yeah, a good start in this is key. And as I said before, if you get sort of 2-0 ahead, you really don't want to be losing a frame. Frame difference can come into it as well, so it's every frame, every ball sort of matters, and it can make it quite a tough format at times.
And all
he's not got too much of an angle on the green, so it'll be a good positional shot to get onto one of these reds. Yeah, just a little bit too much to ask there, I think.
4. Marco Fu.
Again, a little sloppy on the safety.
We can't overstate the level of Marco Fu's celebrity in Hong Kong. Much loved out there, and quite rightly so. In 2017, Gary, he was appointed a Justice of the Peace.
Yeah, he's a great ambassador as well, is Marco. Not only a great player, a very strong ambassador for snooker in Hong Kong. And whether you agree with it or not, obviously got his chance to play in the World Championships when he came back, and does a lot for the game. So it's just really nice to see Marco back playing again, back here. And hopefully that's going to be him playing in most of the tournaments again.
Clearly was a big blocker to the progress of his career.
Yeah, I actually remember playing Marco in, I think it was the European Masters a few years ago, around the time he picked up the pace. I mean, he's not a slow player anyway, Marco, but he'd really picked up the pace against me. I mean, he was almost at Thepchaiya's kind of speed, believe it or not. And I did ask him after the game, like, just curious as to why you were playing so quick. And he'd said at the time that he couldn't really see. So he was just playing a lot more on instinct if he could. But yeah, hopefully all them troubles are behind him. Because it would be great to see a player of Marco's class back playing the way we know he can.
7.
Nice little chance of a cannon at the reds. He's got the red on the left and the red to the right of the black. Shows there not to be as aggressive. Didn't have to play them hard, but he could have still went into them there
40.
and been on one of the 2 reds. He's going to leave that now for a few shots.
50.
Danger being, obviously, if you keep taking away the single reds, you're leaving yourself less opportunity when you do go into the reds to land on one. But he has got the red to the right of the pink. And another couple of open reds.
22.
If he's got the angle here, he can flick 1 or 2 out.
23.
Deciding on the black here, he'll be looking to play the red to the left of the black, and then surely leave the angle on the black to go into the reds.
30. 31.
Everyone break builds different ways, and I know a lot of people go on about certain players who go into the reds at every given opportunity, and some pick them off. It's not always as clear cut as that. Sometimes you'll even find players who you think play very aggressively,
38.
like Thepchaiya does, do what he did there, and sometimes pick 1 or 2 off first and then go into them. It just all depends on the situation, really. And that just comes with experience and practice. Oh, it's not worked out from there.
8.
Was a little more tricky than it might have appeared.
This shot's very similar to what Marco messed up before. And he's kind of done the same again. He's caught it thick, so I think he's maybe just not quite used to the slippiness of the cloth and it pushing slightly when he's putting a bit of left-hand side on the cue ball. And these are things when you've not been playing, as I say, in tournaments very often, that take a little bit of getting back used to again.
I'll tell you what Thepchaiya Un-Nooh didn't get used to when he recently made his international 9-ball pool debut, partnering Noppon Sangkam. Thailand came into the World Cup down at Brentwood in Essex as late replacements for the Philippines. Sadly, Efren Reyes could not get a visa and was unable to attend. And we all thought, given the quality of Noppon Sangkam and Thepchaiya Un-Nooh on a snooker table, they might do something in the World Cup. Not so. They lost in the first round to Jason Theron and Kyle Akaloo from South Africa. And quite frankly, they looked like a couple of fishes out of water.
Yeah, I actually watched a little bit of that on the highlights, and to be honest, it made me feel a lot better about my campaign in the UK Open. They played quite poorly, and it's another level in the pool, in the 9-ball, and getting used to the cue and the balls, the size difference and weight difference of the balls and things. It's all things you've got to get used to if you're going to play at any kind of high level.
What?
So although it made them look a bit stupid, I can totally understand why they've struggled. But as I say, I'm sure if any of us had like a good go at it and had a few weeks to a month's practice and played with, you know, the right cues and all that kind of stuff, then it is a game where I think any snooker player doing that could actually have a good run and put up a good performance. So it would be nice if we can get the snooker players involved in the 9-ball pool again.
Yeah, because Emily Fraser and the team at Matchroom Multisport are doing such a wonderful job in promoting 9-ball and taking it to new heights. And so having some of the snooker guys there and making their presence felt would be terrific. Of course, we had Judd Trump at the US Open last year in Atlantic City.
14.
And it was amazing the reaction of the spectators and his fellow players when Judd turned up. It was wonderful to see.
Yeah, it just gets the hype around cue sports in general, doesn't it? So that's what snooker needs, pool needs, all of it. You know, it's we can work together in some ways and get that. Then
20.
It's absolutely brilliant for pool and snooker. Mark goes in a decent position, yeah, where he's got another couple of loose reds. But he's going to need to move them 2 reds behind the black to have a chance of winning the frame. So
26.
we'll be looking just to pop this pink red next to the black and leave an angle on the black to cannon them 2 reds. And this is where some people ask, you know, how many shots ahead do you think? And in that situation there, yeah, you're thinking 3 or 4 shots ahead, but only because you know you've got them 2 reds to move. Generally, in a normal break, you're only really thinking about
34.
the shot you're playing to get on the next ball, to leave an angle on the one after that, and that's as far ahead as you really think, because the game's too hard to try and think any further than that. You don't end up where you want to be most of the time, believe it or not. And it's always plan B coming into effect. That's a lovely little cannon he's played there.
41.
And the pockets have been playing a little bit more generous than what I think most of the players are used to on the star tables. It was mentioned, I think, yesterday,
42.
and these reds along the black cushion there, they're not as difficult as they may be normally, for whatever reason that is, but the Rasson tables don't seem to play as tight as the stars.
Well, we had Sean Murphy in your role on the first couple of days of the tournament, and he said that almost
49.
immediately at times. Would you agree?
Possibly. They don't look it. I mean, I didn't actually have many shots to sort of test that theory out.
50.
But like there, that sort of went in with ease, and he's obviously hit it well. It hasn't exactly wobbled or anything, but yeah, the corners especially, I've definitely found them a little bit more generous. I actually played a rest shot down the side cushion yesterday in my last game. One that I would probably think twice about on a star table, but thought if I got anywhere near, it would go in.
57.
And he's got a lovely cannon there.
Well, that is the shot of the morning so far for me.
$59.
24 in front. The break goes to 59.
As you say, that'll be frame over. Not an easy shot, but one if he concentrates on and hits it well, you'd expect Marco to get.
62.
He's still got it, Marco Fu. 44 years of age now. In a bygone era, that might have signified he was over the hill. But he's actually 2 years younger than the world champion and world #1, so he can't say that anymore.
Yeah, how the perception of the game's changed.
71.
With the application of bundles of
Marco
side,
71
Fu misses the pink. Three 4-3s.
Can't see any reason why it might not be 2 each today. Both players look to be playing well. Marco struggled a little bit early on, but seems to have got a good feel for the conditions and how things are playing now, so hopefully we'll see some good snooker. Played it quite well. Again, got the pace lovely there. Once he can only hit the top of the cue ball, limits his shots massively. Just trying to come really thin off this red now.
Foul and a miss. Thepchaiya Un-Nooh 4. Back.
Maguire and Si Jiahui ended up drawing 2-2. And in fact, the second match of the day.
And Marco, in this situation, obviously with the 3 misses and you've lost the frame rule, he'll already have eyed up a second shot. Thinking that if he misses it this time, he needs a backup plan. But he's caught it just right. He's played that really well.
Have you ever lost a frame as a result of 3 consecutive misses, Gary, or indeed been a beneficiary of someone who's done it?
I'm not sure. I don't think I have, as a professional at least, no. I'm not too sure, but I can't remember, to be honest, whether I've received a frame in that manner neither. I've been very close a few times. Try and chip this red that's near the black spot towards the cushion and put the white up to somewhere near where it is now, hopefully. It's a very good shot again. Again, blocking that red over the right-hand corner. Excellent shot.
Un-Nooh recognising a classy effort.
Because he's moved that red, he's actually left this as a shot to nothing now for the path of the cue ball. Great shot.
What?
Yeah, harsh on Fu, considering what he...
Yeah, if Marco could only just get himself out of the situation he was in there, he played a very good shot. But a great red, you just got to hold your hands up and say a good shot. Just floats the brown in like it's over the pocket. It looks very comfortable today, Thepchaiya.
Five. Six.
Didn't catch that one the way he would have wanted, though he's maybe caught it a touch thin or not got enough screw into the cue ball. He wanted to screw past the pack of reds there. He can't see the black. He may be having to try and come off the side cushion and hit the black on the top side as we look so that he can send the cue ball back into balk.
Thank you.
Not an easy shot to judge. Played that quite well though. He's caught the right
Thepchaiya
side of
Un-Nooh,
it.
6.
Quite a good shot there. Yeah, again, it can't speak for Marco, obviously, but it looked like he was just struggling with imparting a bit of side on the cue ball there as to how much it was going to throw, and he's maybe overcompensated slightly. Been a little bit fortunate, though, I was going to say it to get away with it, but there's a plant on here. Slightly awkward cueing, but if he gets anywhere near with the first red, they should go in. And the cannon on the pink's lovely to land on the black, so another decent chance. Touch awkward with the 2 reds to the left of the black. Would have liked the angle on one of these reds to go the other side to pop the black into this left corner, but he's going to need to wait to get a better chance to try and get on that black and manoeuvre them reds so he can get them out of the way. Didn't want the cannon on the brown though. He'll be disappointed with that shot.
40.
Still got a chance at this red, and as I said, if he can get on the black to the left corner, that's what he's after. To hopefully just play a little cannon on the red to the left of it and open up the black. Lovely shot again. Just a little further than he would have liked for that shot, but a very good pot. And in fact, it actually goes past the black to the right corner, so that's a bonus. Can just stun onto the red next to it now, and that's the black opened and a good chance.
23.
Played a shot there off the previous black that you guys on the Pro Tour make look easy, and everyone else knows isn't. That float around with running side.
30.
And when you're using side, Gary, I made this point actually when we were watching you yesterday. You seem extremely confident. It is a real art form.
Yeah, and again, touching what I was saying before, even about the pool as well, the grippiness and the slickness of the cloths. It helps when you know what they're doing and you're playing well, but at the same time, it's getting used to
38.
that. Marco's probably struggled with that a little bit in this game so far, but once you know what's
39.
going on and you've got a feel for the conditions properly, yeah, most pro players would be really comfortable playing with side. It can make you look silly just when you don't really know what's happening.
46. 47.
When you think his career was, and I'm not exaggerating,
54.
hanging in the balance before the World Championship, but then he won 3 qualifying matches to make it to the Crucible,
55.
losing 10-7 in the end in the first round of the World Championship to John Higgins. You see him play like this and you think, how on earth could he possibly have come close to losing his tour card? The blue puts him 70 ahead with 67 on.
60. Thepchaiya Un-Nooh.
Mark
60.
will carry on, but one snooker needed, and obviously the red's not in very favourable positions. 4 of them tied up. So if he's going to win this frame, it's going to be a long slog, but he always knows there's a chance. He played a very bad shot there, though. Looks to have left. Maybe not. I thought he'd left an edge of that red so he could just chip it in the middle, but a little bit careless. And that's opened a couple of up for Marco, so he can get a few reds and blacks, and he would love to get into a position where he can get these 2 open reds with blacks and the red on the black cushion, and at some stage try and have just 1 red left on the right there, and that, because it's next to the pink, be able to stun him behind the pink off the last red. See a long way to go before that, but again, as I was saying before, it's a situation where you are thinking quite a number of shots ahead because you're trying to get yourself into a position of where's best to lay the snooker from, and you'll already know that.
9.
You'll be trying to get rid of these reds and get himself into a position where the pink's a great ball to get behind.
When it comes to
60.
successfully getting snookers, Marco Fu was involved in one of the most remarkable frames I think I've ever commentated on. It was against
70.
Ryan Day, as he has a good kiss there on the black. It was against Ryan Day in the semi-final of the World Grand Prix at Preston Guildhall. Ryan Day won the frame after needing 4 snookers against Marco. 4.
Yeah, and that's not a bad little
24.
cannon. As I say, if you can get rid of this extra red. See, there's what I was talking about before. Hit the near knuckle there, and you wouldn't have expected that to go in necessarily. But they are playing a little bit more generous than what a lot of the players have expected. But like I was saying, that red near the pink there now, this is the situation you would have been wanting to get in right from the start. Land him behind this red with a good angle so he can just stun him behind the pink. Oh, what's he done here though? Don't tell us he's left the cue ball so the black spots. No.
32.
The way he's left himself, he'll probably just roll him behind the pink now. And that's trouble.
For 32.
Marco's in with a great chance to steal the frame. He has, and he's brought the green off the on the ball cushion, which is his only saving grace on that shot, really. He's put the green safe for Marco, so it's not as easy a clearance.
Yes, and of course, the referee wasn't empowered to call a miss there because a snooker was required. Flew perfectly on the black ball.
Yeah, and just for getting out with that snooker, Thepchaiya, the way he should have been thinking there.
8.
I'm sure he was. He's just misjudged it badly, but it was to try and miss that. Not try and miss it, but if he was to miss it, try and leave the cue ball in a position where Marco wouldn't have had an easy shot at the red. Because he's misjudged it so badly, he's hit the green, he's left Marco a good chance. But this is the key shot, where it's easy along the baulk cushion as they are the black cushion, with the nap running the other way. Not that there's much nap on these tables these days. But again, that just seemed...
30.
The ball through here, and got a plain ball angle on the blue, just to send the cue ball off the cushion
17.
and knock the pink out. May not quite have come far enough for the shot he's played. Might have to leave the double now.
No one's infallible with this shot, but I'll tell you what, over the course of his career...
So it looks like he's going to have to take his medicine, play good safety, try and get the cue ball in behind the black, the pink up on the baulk cushion.
Marco Fu.
Actually just concentrated on
20.
putting the pink as safe as he can and not really thought too much of the white. It's a very good shot for where the pink's landed.
Yeah, getting out of position on the double actually might have done him a favour there. Took the decision out of his head.
Yeah, it's a funny game. A bad shot can turn into a good shot. Thepchaiya only needing the pink. He might be tempted to have a go at this double. No, he's played safe, and he's played a very good safety shot there as well, getting the white in behind the black.
And with that, the pendulum has swung again.
He needs to try and get some separation and not leave the pink on, which is, you're just trusting to luck, basically.
Foul. Thepchaiya Un-Nooh 6.
Considering he made a 60 break earlier in the frame and he was in seemingly total control, Un-Nooh will be relieved, although he knows the job isn't quite over yet.
Yeah, touch surprised he's played that as hard as he did. Thought he would have just played it dead weight to leave the pink over the pocket if he missed it. And little things like that can make a difference sometimes if Marco gets himself a chance to get a snooker. Again, just a little harder than I thought. The way the angle presented itself there, he could have played that softer, and even if he'd have missed the pink on the way down, cue ball was always going to contact the pink on the way back off the cushion. It's just giving Marco these extra little chances to possibly get a snooker. He really, again, possibly chipped the pink along the cushion here, knowing that he can't miss it on the way back. And that's risky, going round him. Where's the cue ball?
That would have been the cardinal sin. Taking the white anywhere near a pocket in this situation is a total no-no.
Thanks, Marco.
This is what I mean. Giving Marco chances. Can't really afford to do. It's always edge of the seat stuff, Phil, isn't it, when you're watching Thepchaiya?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's so unpredictable, so inconsistent. The highs are so high, the lows can be quite low. But I think he's okay now.
Frame Thepchaiya Un-Nooh.
Well, it took a while. Marco Fu refused to capitulate in the end. Able to a second match of Hugh Stevens, who has taken the opener against Mitchell Mann on the black.
Yeah, again, as you see with the break off there, very hard to get anywhere near over behind the green, even hitting it quite as thick as he did, and a red came up and actually left a chance into the middle pocket, but miss hit somewhat by Thepchaiya, so bit of a half chance missed there. Oh, and he's been a little fortunate just to get in behind the yellow there, Mark Uthan. If he runs into the right-hand side, he's obviously going to be leaving a red on, so just in a little bit of luck here. He's played that well. He's tried for a full ball contact there.
I must ask you this, Gary. We sometimes talk about players dictating the pace of a match. Now, generally speaking, that's when a slower player...
It can work that way. You maybe just playing safety shots back and forth, and you're sort of playing your next safety shot straight down, playing it first shot you see, which is really the way you should be playing. In essence, it's instinctive, and the first shot you see is generally the correct one, but he can make you sort of play to his, as you say, it can have an adverse effect the other way around.
Who taking his time here, recognising the fact that one good positional shot and he could be bang in.
One.
That's acceptable.
Just had to let the cue ball run a little bit there, though. Was a little bit thin on the black, so still needs a good positional shot if he's going to get back. Don't think he's quite got the angle just to run it in and avoid the red on the cushion, so stun it round the two reds of the right-hand side and back up for blue potentially. Just caught the red on the way through, though. Not sure. He's played that lovely. He didn't even try and drop it in and trust the table in any way. He just trusted his technique, his cueing. Very good shot off the cushion, that.
60.
Now back in prime position, so looking like a decent opportunity this for Marco. We did say that good chance this could be a 2-all draw. If he makes the most of this, then that'll be the case.
And just to put into perspective how important it is for Fu to win this frame,
20.
if he's going to retain any tape. No one has lost their first match and won a group.
22. Thank you.
Yeah, which is obviously shows why it's so important to get off to a good start. A draw is not the end of the world, but it goes without saying you want to get a win in your first match. It just sets you up for the group. Kind of makes you think it's all in your own hands. What? Just try to come on the pink, so he's a little bit high. I think he might not have come quite far enough for what he wanted there, which was to push through the reds and open them up a little bit around the pink spot, but it's not too bad. He's still got the red on the right-hand side he can play on. Pink doesn't spot, so it goes up onto the highest available, the green spot.
36.
Well, I must say, regardless of the outcome, it's really good to see Marco Fu back.
$37.
He's made over 500 centuries in professional competition, which is up there with the elite. Turned pro 24 years ago.
Yeah, he's a very heavy scorer, Marco. If you're not as much in the know with snooker, or the players. You might not think so, but all us players and commentary
44.
commentary personnel like yourself and Dave, we all know how heavy a scorer he is, how good a player he is. Not the flashiest of players, of course, but very, very
45.
dangerous when he's in and around the black spot.
Holds the distinction of being the first player ever to make a 147 break in a match that was streamed online. It was at the old Regal Masters in Scotland. His prize was a
52.
car, and at the time he didn't drive. Just got the impression he might have sold it, actually.
You think? We don't get
53.
cars now, Phil, do we?
Well, of course, I remember when there was a car on offer for a 147 in the Grand Prix in the tournament in your part of the world, up in Sunderland. And it was parked outside of the venue and got vandalised.
Yeah, that's Sunderland for you. Had to get that in.
60.
Well, this break might have been wrecked by that.
Yeah, just ran out of position a
Michael
bit
Fu, 60.
carelessly. Really, he was in a good position there to kill off the frame. So, I hinted at the way he's started his campaign. It's not been abysmal by any stretch, of course, but when you get chances like that, a player of Marco's class would be really expecting to make the most of them. So he'll just be working his way into the tournament anyway. He'll not be getting too disappointed about it. He'll hope he can nick a draw here and just up his performance a little bit for the next.
3 on the table.
And this is where Marco's experience can come into it. You don't get flustered by, not performing too well to start the season. It's all about getting through at the end of the day and building on that.
Nicely cued again, just overcooked the cue ball. The black and 1 more red.
Eight. Michael Fu, 8.
Off frame ball missed. The good stuff for Fu. Those reds cluster together even more. And no easy opener. Well, no opener.
Yeah, if you do miss like that, it's always nice to see you sort of mess the table up a little bit and not leave your opponent a chance. The way they're positioned, it's going to be very hard for Thepchaiya to win the frame.
This result falls right into his lap.
Yeah, Jimmy being the seed, obviously, as you say, played first. You get a chance at the end of the day to see what the situation is going into your last game. And because he's won his game, you'd have been hoping for nothing more than these 2 top players to obviously draw. It means that it puts Jimmy in a much better position straight away. That could be that. Left the red on for Marco.
One.
And if this red goes in, there is definitely no way back.
3.
Yeah, I think Thepchaiya will be a touch disappointed the way he started the game, flying. I wouldn't say it looked like he was going to run away with it, of course, but it looked like he was in stroke and he was playing quite well. So he'll be a bit disappointed to only come out of this 2s each.
Cheers.
On the other hand, Marco won't be too impressed with the way he's played himself. But again, just getting back into the flow of things this season. Starting with a 2-all draw, he'll just try and build on that. So not too bad from his perspective.
11.
Yeah, after an enforced break from the professional tour, I think.
Hope you like this My Snooker Shorts 34 video. Thanks for watching.
Okay, let's go.